both legislators and donors. They're both equally responsible. Peter Schweitzer, the great libertarian researcher for the Hoover Institute at Stanford University, in his book Extortion, says there are two kinds of corruption. One is the corruption where people with special interests buy votes in Congress by crony capitalism, for crony capitalism, and also for social welfare issues, the big super PAC. Labor unions, the same thing. They literally buy the vote. Peter Schweitzer's book talks about how legislative leaders on the floor will call a bill, and then they'll delay the bill for as long as possible. They call this milking. They're delaying the bill so that they can get campaign contributions coming in and really jack up the perceived threat to the donors that their bill isn't going to go through. And both parties do this. This has been standard practice ever since the end of McCain-Feingold, which is today, and with Citizens United 4 years ago. The politicians also are 4 times as likely to see to see donors rather than they are constituents. If you call up Congressman Charlie Dent being a very fortunate exception, if you call up and say, I'm a constituent, I'd like to meet with you about a matter of interest with you, most congressmen, almost all the congressmen will say no, because they don't have time to meet with you. They're too busy. But if you say, I'm a constituent, I have money for you, or I'm a donor, they're 4 times as likely to see you. $6 billion was spent on the political campaign for president in 2012. That was 3 times as much as was spent in the previous presidential election. Today, we're on a pace to raise $24 billion in an off-year election, 4 times as much. And that's not all the dark money. That's just the money that has gone to the Republican National Committee, the Democratic National Committee. For those kinds of money, you're going to get results. The other side of the coin, so there's 2 sides of the coin, the culture of corruption. The legislatures are milking this because they want more and more money. The crony capitalists are giving more and more money whenever they're asked because they want their bill to be accomplished. And meanwhile, they're flooding the media with commercials so nobody knows what the truth really is. You have dysfunction because the 2 interests are fighting each other. You know, more money on this side, more money on this side, mutual assured destruction. And then the bill seemingly gets put off so they can raise more money later on. And what we have today is the destroying democracy unless something's done. What we represent us have proposed, and we're part of a coalition of 25 national organizations, campaign finance reform organizations, and political advocacy groups who don't want to give money to politicians, don't want to let other people give money to politicians of a big amount, which a big amount is over $123,000 according to the law. So we want to limit to $123,000. We want to eliminate the revolving door through which congressmen and congressional aides leave Congress and, in spite of the law, immediately go to a lobbying firm or a private interest firm that lobbies for particular causes. They get paid tremendous amounts of money to do that. And bureaucrats who write the laws so complexly that nobody can understand it, so that they will go to a private organization and say, hire me, I can make sure you're in compliance with this new regulation, this new law, which I'm the only one who can understand because I wrote it, and I want $500,000 a year to do it. And the founding fathers had a vision of this country where the great issue of this country would be decided in bars and public squares and meeting places around the country and in newspapers, not on the TV where some person like Sean McCutcheon, who's a billionaire because he makes heavy equipment for coal mining companies. Therefore, he needs to elect congressmen and senators who will gut the EPA so that there'll be no limit on coal mines, so he can make more. I think he makes $40 billion he makes now. So he wants to make more than that. So if he contributes $10 billion to a campaign and gets back $100 million because the EPA regulations have been gutted by the congressmen and senators which he elected, that's no longer democracy. That we want people to be involved in an honest process. Nobody wants to be involved because of the culture of corruption that everybody in this country knows about and hates, and people have lost faith with their government because the special interests control the agenda, control the money, control the complex bills that the legislative aides and the public interest and private interest organizations write, so that they can extract more and more money from the labor unions and corporations and millionaires and public interest organizations, so that they can do more and more commercials to shed out the real truth.